little boys love to wrestle. Everywhere in the world, the big boys, the uncles, the dads, they get the little boys and they throw them around. And the little boys come running back and say, "Do it again." And nobody's ever understood this. And women certainly don't understand it. But it turns out there's something going on here. If you've ever wrestled with a little 4-year-old boy, it starts out happily enough. After about 90 seconds, they lose it. They start to knee, elbow, sometimes even bite. And if the dad knows what he's doing, he stops the action. He says, "Hold everything." Looks the boy in the eye, says to him, "Your body is precious, and my body's precious. And we can't play these games if someone's going to get put in a hospital. So we need 1 or 2 rules, like no kneeing, elbow, no hurting, basically, no hurting people." What do you reckon? Can you handle it? A little clue here. You don't say, "Will you stick to the rules?" Because that's wussy. Can you handle it? Boy goes, works every time. And so you get going again. You do it again. And maybe he goes a whole 4 or 5 minutes before he, misses a step. And that's terrific, because he's learning maybe the second most important thing in a boy's life is, if you're in a male body, you have to know how to drive one. Because the male body is wired up for rapid response, rapid action. And you have to know how to steer that and rein it in. And you have to learn that from someone who knows how to drive theirs. And see, your son's going to grow up. He's probably going to get married, probably to a woman. And for his marriage to survive, sometimes, same for your marriage to survive, sometimes you have to stand 6 inches from the end of each other's noses while saying some really honest stuff. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you just have to have something, it's called truth time. That's something, but no way can you have honest conversation if she's afraid he will hit her. How can you be vulnerable and honest with someone if you're afraid of them? So she has to know that of him. And so he has to know that of himself. Because it doesn't matter, it's not to do with words. It's either true or it's not. See, the difference between a boy and a man is not yours. There's plenty of 50-year-old boys walking around. We've occasionally had them as our prime ministers. And the difference between a boy and a man is that a man can hold his emotions. It doesn't mean he doesn't have emotions. It doesn't mean he doesn't show them, but he can hold them. So he can be full of grief, tears streaming down his face. He can be full of fear, standing at the entrance to the emergency ward of the hospital, just terrified out of his wits. Or he can be full of rage, purple with fury. But he can hold that, and it doesn't spill over and hurt anybody else. You can be right up alongside that man and be absolutely safe.